back to More to Marketing on Daily Ad Brief. I'm your host, Joe Catania, and on More to Marketing, we talk and meet with industry experts on trends in the marketing world. And today we have Joe Polanin. He is the CEO of the Alaka'i Leadership Group. Welcome, Joe. Glad to have you.
Thank you, Joe. It's my pleasure being here today.
Fantastic. What I'd like to do is have you talk a little bit about yourself, let the audience get to know you. I know you were in the military for quite a few years, and thank you for your service as well. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started.
Hey, Joe, absolutely. Thank you very much for saying that. As you mentioned, I served in the Navy for 30 years. I've always felt that serving was my honor and it was my calling. It was where I was meant to be, with whom I was meant to be working and collaborating. And so I was in the Navy for 30 years. Probably about 20 of those 30 years, I had the privilege to serve in CEO or COO roles or equivalent, very often with globally integrated teams. And my background, my profession was explosive ordnance disposal. And I had the opportunity to work with some very, very high performance teams, organizations comprised of dedicated, committed individuals. And what I learned from that was the value of a team and how a team will always accomplish more together than any individual will alone. And then the additional element that I took away from that was when one is faced with a complex challenge, very often in a high threat or high risk environment, and this is not just unique to the military, nor is it confined only to the public sector or the private sector. But when one is faced with a challenge in an environment that has either high threat or high risk, how one works together with that team to not only find a way or make one to solve the challenge and to tackle the obstacle, but to exceed that team's perceived potential. That's what I enjoy. That's what I love. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing with Alakai today.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Interesting. So let me ask you, how did that lead you into starting the Alakai Leadership Group? Basically, if you could tell us a little bit about what the company does and what what your typical day is like on the job.
Of course. In brief, Alakai is a word in Hawaiian that means great leadership. It's a lot more like a culture or a lifestyle than it is a skill or a capability. It is an all-encompassing attitude that brings together a spirit of service, leadership, and compassion. And it's a family business. My daughters actually picked out the name, and we felt it was best indicative of our core values as a family. And what I do with Alakai is what we do with Alakai is we formulate a strategic accelerator. We offer teams, companies, organizations of any size, any scope, any scale, across multiple industries and sectors, the opportunity to understand the importance of the intersection between their vision, their strategy, or their plan to make that vision happen, and the extent to which they mobilize and inspire their talented people toward that vision. In my experience, both in the military and out, Joe, people don't get excited about things they don't understand. However, once you can explain to individuals why what they do matters, how what they do is important, and why it contributes to that overarching strategy, and it helps the team's vision become successful, then your team has the opportunity to create champions for your cause and for your movement and for your vision. And so if a company is doing that well, I help them accelerate what they're doing. And if they're not doing those things, I help them build those processes, implement them, communicate them well, and then accelerate them.
Gotcha. Pretty fascinating, Joe. Let me ask you, from a marketing standpoint, how do you get the word out there? How do you build your business? How do you attract potential clients? Do you have a certain secret sauce that you use to do that?
Well, Joe, if I did, I would be marketing that secret sauce right now. I employ two processes. One is I have found great value with LinkedIn as a platform. Approximately 95% of the relationships that I have created on LinkedIn have been the mechanism and the process through which I have generated leads, prospects, and clients. And so I believe in the power of LinkedIn, and I have used that primarily. The other element is grit and tenacity. I
Right.
believe in making sure that people understand the message and that people understand the value. Alakai is a very unique proposition. I've done research on many of my competitors in the strategic consulting space, and I found that some will explain that they do part of what I do. Some will say that it's included in a service offering that they give, but I have not found a peer who focuses only on the intersection between vision, strategy, and talent, as I do with Alakai. So I think the
That's
combination of utilizing and harnessing the power of LinkedIn for building meaningful relationships is number one. And then number two, the grit and tenacity and the unique methodology and the unique focus that we offer at Alakai that no one else offers. I think those are the two ways that I've done that.
gotcha. Well, certainly LinkedIn is probably the best platform out there to meet with, I should say, other professionals, and in some cases, just have a virtual relationship, or you meet for coffee or a drink, and you get to know people and build a rapport and a following. And also to couple that with an old-fashioned strategy of just rolling up your sleeves and doing the heavy lifting and meeting people and shaking hands and that kind of thing. It all kind of comes together. But unfortunately, Joe, we are running out of time. I would like to continue the conversation, but we are down to less than a minute. You are welcome to come back in the future if you'd like, and we can talk about more of what you do and dig a little deeper, if you will. But thanks for coming today.
Joe, thank you very much. It's my pleasure. I certainly appreciate it.
Fantastic. That's great. Well, listen, if you're interested to learn more about Joe Polanin and his company, visit dailyadbrief.com. Well, folks, that's it for More to Marketing today. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.